Is this thing on? I think it's on. Anyway, good morning. My name is Mike. This is the Aud Pod mobile edition. As you can tell, I'm in the car. I just finished walking my dog. And what I do is I make podcasts about podcasts. That's also a podcast. So I guess the first time I had the idea was when I watched Seinfeld, and Kramer had talked about making a coffee table book about coffee tables, which was also turned into a coffee table. I thought that was hilarious. Anyway, I make a podcast and I review other podcasts. Now, my goal is to start interviewing podcasters and get to know them a bit more, and I do plan on sticking this out even if I have no one listening or watching right now, which I don't care, because it's for me. It's not for anyone else. So this week though, and I'm going to make a podcast about this later, I've been listening to Sway with Kara Swisher, and she is an op-ed reporter, I guess you would call her. She's an op-ed writer for the New York Times. So the podcast is actually brought... Oh my God, dude, you are fucking killing me. The traffic out here in Brampton sucks. Anyway, she writes an op-ed column for the New York Times. And I normally hate opinion writers. Op-ed, in case you don't know, is opinion editorial. And I hate opinion writers. I mean, because everyone has an opinion, myself included. And the old saying is, it's like an asshole. Everybody has one. So I'm not a big fan. I do have to get some breakfast though. And I do have time. Now, this podcast though, I find a little bit different because she's not really... Dumbass. Sorry. She's not really writing about just a meaningless opinion without anything to back it up. She actually dives into these interviews, I guess. She gets all the facts and then she spews out her interpretation of them, and they are fascinating. Like, she is interviewing people like Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk and the guy that's like the head of internet security for Yahoo and then Facebook, and she just dives right in there. And I also think I like her because when she does get in there, she's tenacious. She just puts both hands in or jumps into both feet and just starts ripping these people to shreds. It reaches the point when they're like, do you want to keep interviewing me or do you want to keep talking because you're annoying the shit out of me? That's how in-depth and deep she goes, which is really refreshing. So I would give this a solid 4 out of 5 stars. It's entertaining, it's informative, it's engaging. I would say that's what it is. It's really engaging. So if you're into learning something new and listening to interviews with some really interesting people, I would give Kara Swisher over at Sway an opportunity. I will leave the link down below in the notes. And yeah, give her a try. Now, I do like interview podcasts. The other one I really enjoyed, without realizing it, was Armchair Expert by Dax Shepard. Now, when I first started listening to it, I'm like, this guy knows nothing at all about armchairs. Zero. Because I had to buy a new armchair for my mom, a lazy boy. And this guy doesn't even talk about fucking armchairs. I mean, it's like, what's he doing? But then I realized it wasn't about armchairs. It was about him talking to other people, and then all of a sudden it's like an armchair quarterback. So then it made sense. I mean, what was I thinking? Why would there be a podcast about, chairs? Anyway, I'm just fucking with you. That's not what I thought. It's also a very interesting podcast, though, because he used to be a drug addict, I guess, or an addict. And when you are an addict that decides to go for reform, like to, Narcotics Anonymous or Alcoholics Anonymous or whatever those meetings are, I've never had to go to one personally, you are exposed to a lot of self-help, and you're basically ripping yourself open, showing the world your guts, and you are learning how to kind of identify your feelings and your thoughts and everything about yourself internally. So he takes everything that he's learned and he puts that into an interview process, and he's really quite interesting. Is this guy waiting for me? Because I don't think I can fit there, buddy. It's a tight fit. Jesus. Okay, So this was the Aud Pod. I don't know what week it is. It's before the election, though. The election is coming up. And I'm at Tim Hortons. I'm going to get my breakfast. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Wow, 5 minutes. Crazy. We'll talk again.